Everybody wears masks on a daily basis. I want to ask you a question. With your mask, are you able to show everybody your genuine self, or are you hiding behind your mask? We're going to talk about that. Stay tuned. All right, so we're going to talk about masks today and how people can show their spiritual essence with their mask, or they can hide behind their mask. So each week I do a painting, that I feel like I really need to do, and it is spirit led. So I'm going to show you the painting this week. And let me tell you, if you are listening to it, I'm going to describe it so that you know what I'm talking about. But what I did is I actually used oils this week instead of acrylic. And it's not finished because if you know oils, it takes forever to dry. But I love it whenever you're doing a profile on somebody or a portrait. So this is not me, by the way. All right. So this is one of the cards that I created on my own Lenormand card deck. And I felt, oh my gosh, this lady is wearing a mask. I need to paint it. I was being very pulled to it. So it is a red-headed lady who is wearing a mask over her eyes, not everyday mask so you don't get sick. This is a masquerade mask, and she has all this light around her, and it's almost like her essence is showing through, and she doesn't have an expression on her face. It's just very stoic. All right, so let's go ahead and let me read the message that comes with this picture. Everyone wears a mask. Some of our masks are us as a parent, as a coworker, as a sibling, or as a friend. Are your masks generated by society rules and regulations? Or are your masks created by you? The divine has created free will. You are the creator of your mask. Allow others to see you as you see yourself. You are your heart. You are your soul. Soar to be who you are meant to be. You are the inspirational seed for your family, friends, and coworkers. Always make your mask out of love. Spirit. All right, so each week I always have a small clip, a small story of if Jesus was alive today, how would he tell us to wear our mask so that we can show our spiritual essence. All right, so I hope you enjoy the video. Mask of the Soul. Once in a bustling city filled with people adorned in masks, there lived a wise teacher named Joshua. In the midst of a world where masks represented roles, titles, and societal expectations, Joshua walked among the people, observing the layers that concealed their true selves. He gathered a diverse group, a multitude adorned in different masks. Mask of parenthood, mask of careers, mask of friendships, and the countless masks woven by the threads of society's norms. Joshua knew that these masks, while necessary in navigating the world, often hid the authentic essence of each individual. In the shade of an ancient tree, Joshua began to share a story with the assembled crowd. "Listen, dear ones," he began, his voice resonating with warmth. "Long ago, the divine gifted us with the extraordinary power of free will. We were given the ability to shape our destinies, to mold our mask with the day of our choices. Yet in this grand tapestry of existence, we often forget the beauty of our true selves beneath these masks." He gestured to the masks that adorned the faces of those around him. These masks, whether forged by societal expectations or crafted by our own hands, are not meant to imprison us. They are meant to be tools, not barriers. For each of you is a creator, an artist in the grand gallery of life. Joshua spoke of the importance of allowing others to see beyond the mask, to reveal the authentic self that resides within. Your heart and soul are the canvas upon which your true self is painted. Do not be afraid. to let the world witness the masterpiece that is you. As the sun dipped beyond the horizon, casting its warm glow upon the gathering, Joshua continued, "We are meant to soar, to rise above the expectations that confine us. Be the inspirational seed for your family, friends, and coworkers. Water the gardens of love, compassion, and authenticity. Let actions speak louder than mask you wear." He emphasized the significance of crafting masks out of love, a love that transcends societal norms and expectations. In the tapestry of existence, love is the golden thread that binds us all. When you create your mask with love, you allow the world to experience the true radiance of your being. And so, under the ancient tree, the gathered crowd listened, inspired by the words of Joshua. They left with a newfound understanding, a realization that in a world adorned with masks, their true power lay in the authenticity of their hearts and souls, forever guided by the divine gift of free will. I hope that you enjoyed that story. So, what we're going to do next is I'm going to give you some pointers about how to show people your spiritual essence through the mask that you're wearing. So, let's look at the first one, self reflection. Self reflection is very, very important because you need to be able to know who you are. And I know that as we go through our life's journey, we change who we are, and it's okay because you'll put on a different mask, right? So I'm wearing a different mask than when I was little. But with self-reflection, you really need to know who you want to be about, not what job you are in, but who your soul is telling you you are. And so it's very important to know thyself. And to be able to do that, that means you've got to slow down. That means that you need to have some alone time. You need to enjoy being by yourself. Because as I think of it, about it, we are born alone, even though that we have people surrounding us when we're born. Whenever we go into our mother's womb, we are alone. We also die alone. Where we're going, we have to go by ourselves. It is our soul that's leaving. No one else is following you. So you have to remember that you have to enjoy who you are in your soul. So really have that self reflection. If you don't like what you see, really think about, well, how do I need to change myself so that I can show my spiritual essence? All right, mindful practices. This is also important. So, doing that yoga, doing the breathing exercise, that will actually, you get to know your own energy that way. That's how I started out, is while I was meditating and doing yoga, I could feel my energy. I could feel my soul. And that's also how you connect in with the divine. And I know a lot of times also when I prayed or whenever I would study the Bible, I really could feel the divine essence. I'm not talking about whenever I was reading the Bible for anybody else but myself, because I was needing to be uplifted, because there's so many powerful words. But just like any book that inspires you, it could be an inspirational book. That if you read it and you feel inspired and you feel uplifted and you're really getting excited about it, you are doing mindful practices and taking care of yourself. Authentic communication. Be authentic whenever you communicate with others. So if somebody asks you, how do you feel about this? It is very, very difficult sometimes to be honest. And it is because you're showing your true self, you're being vulnerable. And sometimes it's really hard to be truthful. I know a lot of times when people say, "What are you doing with your life, Michelle?" And sometimes I feel uncomfortable, letting myself be vulnerable and saying, "You know what? I am a spiritual leader now and I am healing people spiritually." Sometimes I just say, "You know what? I am doing what I love. So you got to be comfortable, but you also need to show people who you are authentically through your communication. And that can also be that if you don't really know somebody and you're being helpful to them or being sweet and you're listening, that's authentic communication. People can see that light in you. So you can communicate different ways. You can communicate with your energy. And people will go, "You know what? I want to be with her. I love that energy." And I can't tell you how many times, and I know that a lot of empaths are the same way. You'll be at a grocery store in line and somebody either in front of you or behind you will start telling you their life story because they feel that energy in you. So you're communicating, if you know it or not, through your energy, you're being authentic. So that's the next thing is kindness and compassion. So when you're being kind and compassionate to somebody, they're going to see your true essence. If you open the door for somebody or just those little nice or smile to somebody on the streets, they're going to know that you are very kind and you got that energy. Live your truth. So if you are a spiritual person and you get into a fist fight in the middle of the street, okay, are you really living your truth? All right. So you've got to show people, you've got to practice, you've got to be who you authentically communicate through. And so live your truth. So also, if you're going to a church that is not resonating with you and you're just doing it out of habit, are you living your truth? Or if you start, and I, with this is so difficult. This is kind of like a communication too. So if you're in a group and everybody is, explaining what they believe in, or they're telling people what their opinions are, sometimes I love to listen to it. And I just listen and I don't really put my input into it. And I'm living my truth, but I'm not really showing people my truth. So am I really living it? I know it's very complicated. So, but you need to definitely be a role model of who you want to be. Live your truth. And you know what I always love to tell people is your children are watching you. So if you live your truth and you speak your truth, your children are going to see you as a role model that they need to follow. Express your creativity. And this could be in anything. You're showing people your true essence through your painting, through your crafts, creating a business, helping people. There's so many different ways that you can express your creativity. And I know a lot of people now are going to podcast because podcast is a way that you can speak your truth, that you can be creative. So start a podcast. I challenge you. I hope that you enjoyed the painting, the points of how to show everybody your authentic self and not hide behind your mask. And so I want to leave you with this. So this week, how are you going to increase the essence in your spirituality?